the Stanley Parable. This isn't just a game, it's a hilarious philosophical mind device that turns your brain inside out and forces you to question reality itself. You play as Stanley, a generic office dweller whose life is narrated by an omnipresent and charmingly British voice.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors. He entered the door on his left.
There's no typical video game tropes, no punching, no shooting, no hell bombs. Just you walking around trying not to do what you're told.
He entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that?
But it's not so simple. The disembodied speaker will do everything in his power to convince you to violate your own independent volition and instead do what he says.
In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail.
And right when you think you have a handle on it, he presents you with impossible scenarios that you must somehow transcend with outside-the-box thinking and rebellious exploration. It's sort of like being in a toxic relationship, but your romantic partner is the vague force of control itself.
You heartless bastard.
This little 2013 indie gem, made by Galactic Cafe, is shockingly clever, raising it to the level of artistic genius for its ability to make you think. Nay, experience the agonizing mystery of free will in ways no other medium can really do it.
Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
Unfortunately, telling you specifically how it does this would spoil the ecstasy and agony of your journey, or journeys, as this game kneels at the altar of choose-your-own-adventure style storytelling, pushing you through countless outcomes and endings, depending on your various actions and choices.
Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking?
Playing it had me drowning in multiple waterfalls of deep thoughts like, what are the various narrators of real life that force us to do things we don't want to do? Are they the mind tricking you to overthink fruitless thoughts that do you harm? The emotions that submerge you in biochemical moods that you did not consent to be driven by? Are they the body whose cravings for junk and aversions to productive pain can override your desire to improve? Are they toxic social norms, inappropriate subconscious programming from unfortunate life experience, stagnating fears, ignorances, and superstitions, all screaming at you to do their bidding, desperately trying to prevent you from outgrowing their dictatorships? Is our tyrannical narrator cause and effect itself, the automated force that operates every minute part of us, because perhaps every atom that makes up every neuron in our mind is just following a logical, predictable arrangement, meaning that the thought you are thinking right now is actually just a measurable outcome of chain reactions that started with the Big Bang. Is thinking we have free will actually causality forcing us to think this when we really had no decision-making in these ponders whatsoever? What if the math and science nerds were right, and from a fifth-dimensional perspective, time isn't a living unfoldment, but rather a total and complete physical object? Like a DVD you can hold and say, in this object is the beginning, middle, and end of a movie, all at the same time. It feels like a linear experience from the perspective of the character inside of it, but is really a completed totality when viewed from above it. Would that mean the narrator of our lives is simply the notion that time itself has already completed and we're beholden to its concretization? What if we zoom out further to a yet higher perspective above not only time, but all timelines, where all possible choices can be held as a physical object, like holding the disc to the Stanley Parable video game, where in your hand is every possible choice, action, and outcome, all completed, and it only appears as free will when you are inside of it, experiencing it, thinking you are the doer of your deeds, when in reality, you're just riding a pre-scripted, changeless roller coaster that has been there all along. Is the great evil narrator of reality simply the oppressor called "It Has Already Happened," and that bothers you for some reason? Is there a part of us that is beyond this bondage, and can it, Like a player knowingly playing a video game somehow identify itself as whatever created the narrator in the first place. The energy that animates everything. Everything that controls reality is powered by something. So what is that power? Would it be a force with no authorities to tell it what it can and cannot do? Free from the limiting narrators of time, space, categorization, and measurement. An empty void that, like an imagination, can give birth to infinite ideas without itself being an idea, yet imbuing them with its energy. Are we one such idea? Does this make us puppets? Or are we actually the timeless, formless energy that passes through the mind, the body, the emotions, the video game system, the TV screen, and everything else, but don't realize it because if we thought about it too hard, our feeble human brains would explode?